We went to court in December of 2020. And I'm glad that you started there because this is really important for people to understand. The original application was something called an injunction. An injunction is a court order which basically asks a court to tell a party to stop doing something because it's going to cause irreparable harm. And so we went to court in December of 2020 to try and get the governor of Alberta to stop doing what they were doing because we said it was going to cause all manner of irreparable harm. Of course, history has proven us to be right beyond our wildest and scariest expectations. But it's interesting to note here that in December of 2020, we presented before the court at that time, before a judge named Kirker, who's now been elevated to the Court of Appeal for Alberta. We basically presented the same case that we presented at trial. We had one of the world's most renowned epidemiologists, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, gave his expert opinion on the harmful impacts of lockdowns. And in his evidence was evidence about the Great Barrington Declaration. We had Colonel David Redman, who is maybe the foremost expert on emergency responses policy in Canada and one of the leading authorities in the entire world. He's gone around the world to help design these policies. So we had all that evidence. All of our case was presented to the court in December 2020. The other side had nothing. They had literally had Dr. Hien Shaw file an affidavit saying, well, we have to do this or everybody's going to die and it's going to overload the healthcare system. And the court simply took judicial notice of something called the pandemic, took in the absence of really any scientific evidence, denied our application for an injunction. And the proof that they had nothing, that they had no evidence is this. The court actually granted them until July the 1st of 2021. So that's basically 7 months to produce their evidence, to produce their case, because they didn't produce it in the injunction application. And, and away we went over that period of 6 months or so. The lawyers for the governor of Alberta essentially, took apart, tried to torpedo parts of our case, a series of applications, striking out parts of our claim, striking out certain evidence. They won all of those. They ran the table on us through all of those. So that was the early part. And then as we got close to the trial, or the scheduled trial in September, we lost Justice Kirker because she was elevated to the Court of Appeal. You can call that a coincidence if you like, but she left and entered Madam Justice Romaine as the trial judge.